The Fortnite Chapter 4 trailer may have just been leaked. Of course, with the Fracture Live event occurring ending off Chapter 3 at 4 PM ET on December 3rd, 2022, in today's video we not only have leaked voice lines which we're going to be revealing for the very first time, contributing directly to this trailer itself, but not only do we have an insane trailer to showcase in this video, so stick around until the end, but also our first early look at the Fracture Live event before it happens, leaked by an Epic employee, and even potentially the downtime screen that we're going to be entering. Subscribe right now to never miss any other videos like this, considering 70% of all eyes on screen right now haven't clicked the button yet. In the prior video I asked you guys to name this on screen right now, so here's a ton of comments on screen that got that right. Today however I want to know the name of this, so make sure to leave it down below in the comments, and if it receives a heart you'll most likely be shown on screen in the very next video, so to see that as soon as it's uploaded. Don't forget to leave a like in this video, subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you can be one of the first to see. And last but not least, before we hop into it all, huge shout out to everybody rocking code FM1 inside the Fortnite item shop, literally one of the shortest and easiest codes to enter, only 3 digits long. But with that said, now enough time's been wasted with so many leaks pouring out about Chapter 4's trailer, so make sure of course you don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm not, I'm sitting on my
Don't
back.
go anywhere.
Diving straight into it, speaking of Chapter 4, there's now not only a 4th chapter coming, but 4 teasers out there circulating on the internet, not just posted by Fortnite on their social media, which for those that don't know, all of these come with their own unique description. I'll put all of the tweets on screen right now that we currently have 3. However, the 4th image was actually leaked through this news tab right here, showcasing all of these when you put them together in number 4 configurated, whether it's through the pose of the character or on the character, like we have the tattoo on this summer version of Guff, and also on the head of Mancake and this Inferno skin. Despite there being a total of 4 teasers now, I'm guessing Fortnite, considering we are a few days away from Fortnite Fracture, with of course these being teasers for the event and not specifically the trailer, they will be releasing more, so make sure to either follow me on my Twitter linked in the video description down below, or Fortnite, but I'm doing a ton of giveaways now on the lead up to Chapter 4, so don't miss out on those too. It's going to be interesting to see if this star moves more so to the foreground, as it's doing so throughout the 4 teasers we've seen thus far, pointed out by FN Assist. As for the skins involved in the teasers, however, I don't believe it's entirely random, as for those that don't know, Paradigm mentioned the Loop Breaker project, and to ask Jones about it in this voice recording in the recent Paradise quests.
Ask Jones about the Loop Breaker project. Keep things confidential. It's not.
Which for those that don't know, we did have an original Loop Breaker project with, well, Midas and his Doomsday device. Obviously now we know why these files were top secret on Agent Jones's desk in this office scene that we teleported to in the Device Live event from, well, everything going down and the loop being broken. At least Mancake we know isn't a random skin for these teasers anyways, as on the back of some action figures that Fortnite won't have done by accident, they've tagged some of the skins or characters, including Peely and Mancake, as Loop Breaker. Of course it's interesting to see the Zero skin on here, considering, well, this is a very sus skin. We not only got it at the start of Chapter 2 Season 1, which could have very well been a really good Battle Pass Tier 100 or Level 100 skin, however it rotated throughout the item shop, and many people believe this to be, well, the version of Geno that actually fell into the 0 point, and instead of being scattered throughout the Omniverse in particles, this now may have been one of his forms right in front of our eyes this entire time. I know, that's crazy. Midas and Jules working hand in hand, we know already, are the only ones capable of constructing such a Loop Breaker device, or the device in itself that ultimately was the heart of the Loop Breaker project. And despite this spray of course teasing Midas' return leaked in the 22.30 seconds last update of Chapter 3 Season 4, as it shows Midas being consumed in Chrome instead of him doing the consume in as he's shown to do, well, literally in these agent cutscenes from Chapter 2 Season 2. The Midas teasers don't just stop there, as it was literally attached to the recent description of the tweeted out teaser anyways, not the one leaked on the news tab of the Inferno skin, as Echo stated, Midas reference, all that glitters has consumed the ground you walk on, and that's the caption of the tweet as you're seeing on screen officially from Fortnite's verified Twitter. Midas' actual description, however, as Echo reminded us of, is of the skin himself, all that glitters is yours. So is the glitter reference also implying the return of Midas? I think it's largely possible, considering not only did Cypher PK, who has had inside information about the flip side before it happened for Chapter 3 coming in the past, he stated he has a feeling that Midas will be making an appearance during this Chapter 3 finale, which honestly everybody wants to see at this point. But don't forget, Donald Mustard also said this around a year ago, teasing, well, Midas could possibly be returning as he, well, isn't dead.
Midas is great.
and not dead.
Despite him not being dead, it looks like a member of the Seven that we've been most notoriously relying on this season could be, which we're going to be revealing from the voice lines leaked from the event in just a second. But before we do, something interesting to note about the event, despite Egyptian leakers stating at the top it's 40 minutes long, there will be some quests to complete and a telescope you can use for stargazing. At some point, a certain star will be revealed. What's interesting is that the new map is codenamed Asteria, which means a star in Greek, with reference back to all 4 of these teasers, with a star becoming more so of a forefront of the background or into the foreground, bigger anyways. Considering we already know Asteria fits with the Greek mythology codenames of all prior islands, Chapter 1 Athena, Chapter 2 Apollo, and Chapter 3 Artemis. As we know, Reality Zero is coming to an end, from Paradigm stating the following in the Paradise quests:
Reality as you know it is going to end. I know it's hard to understand why we need to keep fighting, especially when we won't win.
Could this be one of the new realities that Donald Mustard has been putting as the location of his Twitter bio, all 3 on screen right now? And within that reality, perhaps a new flip side, the first side we enter being codename Asteria? Can we just take 2 seconds to say goodbye to the Chapter 3 island, or as we even see it now as during the event, despite there being chrome scattered or seeping throughout everywhere, initially coming from Herald's Sanctum? This most likely is going to be covering the entire island or even flooding it, as teased in this Herald loading screen as a part of her cosmetics that yes, you need to get before December 3rd alongside everything in the battle pass. As for those that don't know, we're going straight into a downtime, which again Hypex and other data miners have stated we're going to have a storyline related minigame in, and many people believe this to be the leaked downtime loading screen initially pouring out over on Twitter, which then later got confirmed sadly to be, well, just a concept. But how cool is this? Honestly, if this was the downtime loading screen and we could play a minigame like we could in the Black Hole with the Durr Burger, I would honestly be pretty happy. But considering it's a storyline related kind of minigame, I'm guessing it's something we all have to go through, kind of like the washing up process onto the Chapter 3 island, and then us having to interact and start the new chapter through this particular fixed cutscene. Anyways, you've waited long enough to hear the event voice lines of things that are said by the Paradigm particularly interesting, or the most important things you're going to have to hear about her sacrificing herself, and something called the Zero Fusion.
One of us has to survive. Figure it out. Zero fusion won't be possible until the 0 point has completely recovered. You and the team need to restore the 0 point before anyone realizes how vulnerable we are. Tell him I understood the risks of zero fusion.
We've got Durr Burger, people.
As it goes straight onto voice lines of Amy after Paradigm literally kind of inadvertently says goodbye. This of course is our first hearing of what's going to be happening, but as for our first look, for those that haven't seen this on Twitter, here are some early sketches of the Fracture Live event. The first one of course is pretty interesting, but the second one highlights more prominently that the 0 point and Reality Tree are basically hand in hand despite being fused together through energy waves going to both of them. In my opinion, these things are kind of yin and yang. Obviously the 0 point representing, well, the everything, whilst almost the Reality Tree is a force for evil put here by the Herald, representing the nothing, the presence this is. Regardless, with the power of these two combined being pretty strong forces to be reckoned with individually, who knows what insane cinematics we're going to be seeing for the destruction completely of Reality Zero, not just one side of the flip side. This was all made possible from somebody getting their hands, as Sheena stated, on the AES key for the event, so literally even the event and cinematics within it or gameplay could have poured out already, but thankfully didn't and spoiled it. In the meantime though, there's some chunks, as you can see right now. FNBR Intel tweeted out about some props anyways that obviously we knew we were going to be seeing from the destruction of Reality Zero. This doesn't spoil too much, but it's just interesting to note that yes, so much of the terrain as shown in the promotional image floating around in the sky is in fact a scenery or site we're going to be seeing despite looking through the telescope at this star as stated in the event quests. And with all that context in mind about the storyline, what we're going to be seeing and where it's going, we can now roll that Chapter 4 trailer, as I promised I'd play for you prior in the video, but stay tuned after this as there's even more we need to discuss of great importance. If that didn't capture the size or scale of this event, with everything in Reality Zero that's ever existed to be, well, facing the Herald or the Nothing or the Last Reality, I honestly don't know what will prepare you for it. But speaking of being prepared for the event, for those that don't know, as Fortnite did release this article with tons of information in there, not only revealed one of the free rewards for attending or getting prior login on. As you can see between these two dates highlighted from this particular section of the article on screen right now, from logging in you will get the Toasty Roast emote to attend the event, and then hopefully sit around with several friends and sing your campfire song like from SpongeBob. Let me know down below in the comments if you remember this iconic song and scene from this episode. And despite this being a cool free reward, what's even more interesting for those that haven't known about already, the Zero Fragment backbling leaked in the last update 22.40 of Chapter 3 Season 4 on the day of the event in the specific region you're in of the world, as there's tons of different time zones and different dates on screen right now for when that will be going down, but all the same time throughout the world. This day and this day only you'll be able to log on and get the Zero Fragment backbling for completely free, so everybody could technically be wearing this. For those that don't know what the Zero Fragment ultimately is, this was the entire purpose of linking the Fortnite storyline within the Marvel universe in the Fortnite x Marvel Zero War comics, with Fortnite characters going into that Marvel universe instead of what happened in Chapter 2 Season 4, which on the flip side, no pun intended, before all of this happened, the Marvel universe characters came to Fortnite. The initial plot of obtaining the Zero Fragment was of course to turn the tide in the war waged between the Imagined Order and the Seven, for the Seven then to defeat the IO, but now they have bigger threats ahead. And from taking a look at this backbling in and of itself, you can clearly see three large areas of terrain being kind of sucked in or spiraled into the 0 point, which we definitely know is going to be happening, all these big areas of terrain colliding with the 0 point from it being sucked in from the event tags that people have revealed. Whether or not this represents Chapter 1, 2 and 3's islands all making an appearance in this event, meaning the Athena, Apollo and Artemis islands, or whether it's simply just a reference in a minimalistic form to the terrain that's going to be going around in this crazy scenery once Fracture occurs and Reality Zero ends. Drop a like in today's video if you're going to be attending, and subscribe to the channel right now so your game doesn't crash. Turn all notifications on too whilst you're at it so you don't miss any future videos. But speaking of other videos, make sure to interact with this one I've picked out specifically for you on screen right now. However, most importantly, hopefully I can catch you in the very next upload I do publish on the channel.